Hello again and welcome back to our course on Project 2013. In this section we're going to look at help. As with most major new software products nowadays, there is very limited help actually provided with Project, and the bulk of the help is provided online. Therefore, in order to take advantage of the full help facilities of Project 2013, you will need an internet connection. I do have a live internet connection. And one of the great advantages of Project 2013 in terms of help is that access to help is provided in a very consistent way. Generally speaking, in the top right hand corner of any window you will see a little question mark. And if I hover over the question mark on the start screen window here, you'll see that the word help is shown. That's called a screen tip. And then after help, in brackets, it says F1, and that is the keyboard shortcut for help. Basically, they're the two standard ways of getting help in Project. Either click on this question mark or use the keyboard shortcut F1. If you click on the question mark or use the keyboard shortcut, you open browser-based help. Now, unfortunately, at the time of recording this course, there were some alignment problems with this help homepage. It won't actually stop me covering the material on the page, but it does look a little bit strange. But I think when I explain it to you, it won't really cause you a problem. The help homepage really contains four main sections. Up here you have a set of buttons, which I'll talk about in a moment, and then a search box that you can use to search the online help for a particular feature. You then have three other sections. You have a popular searches section, which basically gives you the terms that are the most popular for people to search on in help. I'll come back to the search and those popular searches a little bit later on. The third section is a getting started section, and that gives links to three main getting started sections within the Project 2013 help. There's what's new with Project 2013. Note that as I hover the mouse over that term, it's underlined and becomes a live hyperlink. Then it has Project keyboard shortcuts. We're going to be talking about the keyboard shortcuts a little bit later on. And then it says make the switch to Project 2013. If I click on that one, make the switch to Project 2013, it gives access to a page within Microsoft.com where you can download a number of relatively short videos that give you some information which is particularly useful if you're switching from another version of Project. So apart from giving a summary of the new features, it explains things like a tour of the ribbon and where all your favorite buttons and menu items are in Project 2013. So if you're new to Project or you've used an older version and you'd like a different view on the changes, there's some good videos here for you to download and take a look at. And when you finish looking at those, then you just close this browser and you'll be back to the Project Help homepage again. Now, the fourth section on the Project Help homepage is also a set of links. Basic tasks in Project, change working days for the Project calendar, and so on. If I follow one of those, say set a baseline, that takes you through to the relevant page within the help system. If you find that the text is a little bit too small to read, then one of the buttons in the group up here to the left of the search box, that one says use large text. If you click on that button, it increases the size of the text and makes it much easier to read. You can then decrease it again by clicking on the button and it's back to its standard size. While we're looking at these buttons, another point to make here is that to the left of that button there is a print button which will enable you to print a particular page or section of some pages on help. Now, sometimes when you're looking at some help, there will be a further link within the help, such as this one here. As I hover over it, you'll see that it becomes highlighted, usually with an underline. Click on that and that will take me through to another page, and from there may be further links. This is browser based, so at any stage, if I want to go back to the previous page, I use the back button amongst the group of buttons in the top left there, and if I want to go forward again to a page I've just left, I can use the forward button. And then the middle button in that group, at any time if I want to go home, back to help home, I just click on the picture of the home there, and that takes me back to the help home page. And then just one other thing on this page, and that's the search box itself. I mentioned the popular searches before, but in fact you can search on pretty much any term that you might have a question or an issue about in relation to Project 2013. Click in the search box and type in a term. So for instance, if I wanted to find out about leveling, type it in, and then the magnifying glass on the right is the button, the command button that says search online help. Click on that. Now the links that I can see here are a bit of a mix really. Some of them just help me to find things, say on the ribbon, but others actually link through to articles. The very first link there is to an article, level resource assignment. So if I click on that, it'll take me through to an article that tells me quite a lot about how to level the resources on a project. If you've got no idea what leveling is, you will find out what it is a little bit later on the course. And again, I can follow through links, and at any time I can jump back to the home page and get some more help. When you've finished using help, you can either minimize it down onto your taskbar if you anticipate using it again, or if you look at the top right hand corner of the window there is an X for the close button. I mentioned before that if you don't have a live internet connection, then you won't be able to get online help. If you don't have an internet connection and you click on help, you get the offline help. Let me just show you what you get with offline help. I'll click on the question mark there again. I get a can't connect message here. We're having trouble connecting to office.com in my case. You may or may not get that message. You may or may not be asked to try again. I'm not going to try again because I want to show you what happens with offline help. And basically with offline help, all you get is help about where things are on the ribbon. So if I type in here leveling and then ask for help on leveling, what I get is information about leveling commands and where they appear on the ribbon. And that's just about the extent of offline help. So it's not really going to be able to help you very much. But in summary, if you need the full help that comes with Project 2013, you're going to need a live internet connection. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about in relation to help now is what's called contextual help. I've actually leapt into Project 2013 here just for a moment, and I've opened one of the dialogues. It doesn't really matter what this dialogue is about, what it does. You'll find out about it later on. But you'll quite often see in some of the dialogues that we come across a help button. And in theory, what happens if it's got a help button like this in a dialogue is it will take you into the same help system that we've just seen, but it will take you to a particular topic related to this dialogue. So if we were formatting bar styles for a Gantt chart in Project 2013 and clicked on help, we would normally expect to get into the help system with some help about bar styles. Now, in my experience of Project 2013 so far, a lot of the time when you click these help buttons, all it does is take you to the help home page. So if I click help here, it actually just takes me to the regular home page. And of course I can then do a search. I could search in there for bar styles and get some help. So in theory there is what we call contextual help. That is help that directly relates to the context in which we asked for the help. In practice, I'm not sure at this stage with Project 2013 that much of the contextual help is actually very contextual. But having said that, if you get into the help system, you can search for the particular topic you want help for. And if there is help on it, you will be able to find it. So that's almost it on help. Let me just close this down again. For the benefit of those of you who are using touch, of course, wherever I've clicked for these things, you tap. So if I tap on that help button in that dialogue, it does exactly the same thing. That's it on help in Project 2013. I'll see you in the next section.